Welcome to the Curated Beauty Podcast. Jessica Christie here, a health and beauty enthusiast who became a medical practitioner to be the authority on how to enhance both your outer beauty and inner beauty for the most confident glow. Founding and owning a multi-million-dollar aesthetic medical practice in Michigan, my mission is to bring all the bi-coastal innovations to the fresh coast of Michigan. From which aesthetic treatment gives you the most bang for your buck to how to create systems to be both professionally fulfilled and still have freedom of time and relationships, we will be diving into it all. I want to bring awareness to thinking in a big picture and thinking about what could be out there in terms of how converging technologies and how innovations could really transform all of our lives and our businesses. It's not unique to have change affect the way that we do things. It's keeping an open mind and having such a finger on the pulse of what the trends in our own industries, our own marketplaces, our own market shares, what's going on with all of that. This whole concept was initially, stimulated in my mind by reading the book, The Future is Faster Than You Think by Peter Diamandis. And I love a lot of his thoughts. And it's how converging technologies are transforming businesses, industries, and our lives. The key takeaways from this book really are talking about how when multiple technologies are converging, they create exponential growth. And innovation obviously follows. Technology is getting better. It's enhancing our lives. Obviously, there's probably downsides with that because, nothing is as good as it seems. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We have artificial intelligence and the metaverse with virtual reality technology coming out. There's so many things going on, and we can turn a blind eye to it, or we can really look ahead and predict what that means for us. Also, we have a huge future of shopping and how our consumers find us and how they make purchases, future of education. How are we teaching the next generation of people that are going to take our places and stimulating mind thought and how people consume this information? And then we're really looking at exponential technologies on a global scale. I'm not going to get so deep into diving into all this, but something that really caught my eye and my mind and something that I had never heard of, and so I dove into learning and I wanted to share with you, was the concept of Moore's Law. And some of you may know this, but it's the observation that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles approximately every 2 years. This exponential increase in computer power has been the driving force behind countless innovations. I mean, look at smartphones. Look at the chocolate razor, you guys. Do you remember how you were on waiting lists and how much you were going to pay for that bronzed little slim phone that you could fit in your back pocket? And now look where we are with iPhones. I mean, it is kind of wild, to be honest, where we are. So there's just countless innovations, and it's rapidly evolving our industry, and staying ahead of the curve in everyone's business isn't just giving us a competitive advantage. It is a necessity. And I really think that there's a lot of implications business-wise for where we're going with this. The faster and cheaper availability of computing products allows people to strategize and utilize all of these things to really maximize what we're doing and to stand apart. So it's a good thing that we have advances in technology. It's a good thing that things are becoming more readily available, that prices come down. But there's also downsides to that as well. And I think that it's crazy to think that we are going to be standing alone as a medical aesthetics community or medicine in general, and that a robot literally couldn't come in and do our job. I think we've seen a massive shift even during the whole pandemic and COVID, where people were getting telehealth visits and almost just entering their information and being sent in prescriptions. And of course, there's hands on that, but you can see and feel the shift. And if you don't pay attention to it, you will become obsolete, and you won't be somebody that a patient or a client is searching for. You're going to become the old school mindset, and there's always newer, bigger, better. So is that always good? I don't know. But, as the time has passed on and technology becomes cheaper, more consumers purchase. I just think about that with the medical aesthetics industry. One of the number one reasons that people don't partake in medical aesthetics is the cost. And so are some of these innovations going to come down? I don't know. We were talking recently about pico laser, and pico lasers, they're a specific type of technology. They're most known for removing tattoos, but they're so expensive. And so I'm being approached and seeing some innovations and technologies of ones that not only are less expensive, but more durable and not so finicky and breaking down. So it is just very crazy to be involved in this industry and start to see these kinds of concepts touch our practices as well. There's some smart people in this space. I mean, look at the advancements now in ultrasound. We've brought ultrasound into our practice so that we can map people out before injecting them, appreciate any anatomical anomalies, handle and manage complications that may arise. And we didn't have this technology in our space. It was in other spaces, but now it's emerging and converging. And now we're able to offer our patients this wonderful experience. So I digress a little bit. I want to give you a couple examples of things that have happened in terms of technology. Look at Apple. The introduction of the iPod, it was like a 5 gigabyte hard drive. It sold for $399. And the advancement 6 years later, the price dropped to $50. $50. And then with 40 times the ability to store music by its 10th birthday, it was giving 5 gigabytes away for free. So you went from $400 to free. And now we have, the iCloud service. And I mean, it's just so crazy how the advancements really, to stay competitive, people are lowering their prices because they can too. There's less investment. And so we can lower the prices and make it more readily available to everyone. Look at cars. I mean, that is another great example. We didn't just go from driving around in horse buggies to flying cars, or let alone cars that drove themselves. When I was a child, I couldn't imagine having a car that drove itself. But now we have Tesla. And so when we're really looking at the implications of all this, it's really, really interesting to think where we could be by the end of our lives. And I look at what could happen in my children's lifetime. Always be a forever student. You need to be aware of what is going on in your circle. What are the new innovations? I'm honestly taking a step back from patient care and seeing less patients because I'm trying to utilize that time to go find and search and dig for what's next. I was just at dinner last night with some people from a really amazing strategic partnership that we have. And we were talking about how I didn't know about ranch water. And this was in a previous podcast, but everyone, they're like, you don't know what ranch water is? And I was like, no, you guys, we're in Michigan, let alone like what the UP is missing out on. And so, I mean, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up for debate, but we're always the last to have fashion, food, innovations, technologies. And so I've made it my mission to go look for everything new and late and great. That's why I have a Silfram device. And we were the first in Michigan to not only have the first device, but also the second. So as a med spa, we really have to harness the potential of these technologies and the advancements in them to really provide our patients with the most cutting edge treatments and ultimately personalized care. By offering these state-of-art equipments and innovation therapies, we can really improve the efficacy of our treatments and still create a really unique and memorable experience for our patients. I think that when people start to look at technology innovation, they really start to get nervous about how am I going to be replaced? And that's a scarcity mindset. We need to have an abundance mindset. I love the word convergence because not only are we bringing all these technologies together, we're bringing us into them too. We're leaning into it. And I just really think that there's a way to use Moore's Law to our advantage. We're able to have all these amazing diagnostic tools and technologies. Imagine a medical aesthetic practice where patients undergo a comprehensive skin analysis using AI-powered imaging, allowing all of us on our team to really get into the nitty gritty of a customized treatment plan and be able to train that and scale it so that we're offering that to more people. There's still a level of personalization, with our patients, but it would allow us to touch and reach more people and also be able to describe to them on a layer and a level that they may not understand of what's going on beneath the skin. That, we've participated in cadaver courses and we see what's underneath. We know that we're not just throwing a filler in wherever. We're appreciating the depths of the skin. We're going down to the bone, or we're in the deep fat, or maybe we're just below the muscle or on top in the superficial fat. There's so many things going on, or like the depth of what's happening in the dermis, that skin layer, and what we're trying to do, and explaining these technologies to a patient that may feel super overwhelmed and not know why you're coming up with this customized plan that's $3,000, but then you're able to break it down and then prioritize and give them these amazing take homes that they just get to think about, but it makes sense. And so I think that that's a really powerful tool. That is a leverage of being able to stand apart. And so I think that the opportunities are really endless and continuous, and we really want to stay on the forefront of that. But technology is not the only component. As I mentioned, we get to be part of that convergence as medical providers, and I don't think that we will become obsolete. Building strong relationships and having that impact and enhancing someone's experience and their life and that touch point, that is essential. So I think that there's a few different ways that no matter what your business is, you can prevent the fear of scarcity with the emergence of this whole Moore's law and the concept, and really stand apart. Your patients are the ones that eliminate competition because their loyalty to you is where you tap into your brand. And they're coming to see you because you're marketing to a niche client or patient, and you're making sure that your message is clear. So I just want to, again, just touch on a few things that I think are really important in terms of our component and the way that we play into this. So number one, personalized consultations. By taking the time to really understand not only why our patient is there, what are their goals? What are the things that I can help them with to really address their unique need, and also setting an appropriate expectation? You can give them this beautiful head to toe consultation form that tells them every single thing that they can do. But it's up to us to be able to read that patient and see where they are and meet them there and help them prioritize what would give them what they're looking for and where do we go next. I'm in the process of developing a whole new consultation, and our team is going to be rolling that out. I'm just so excited about that. Number two, ongoing communication. You have to maintain regular contact with your patients or your clients. Phone calls, emails, personalized apps. We're working on a lot of things right now that we're going to roll out. I am so excited to launch them. I'm going to give you a little teaser. We are going to have an app, and we're going to be able to have these higher touch moments with our patients, provide people with busy lives, little tiny reminders like, hey, you have this money setting in your rewards program and you can come in and use it. Or as we roll out a very exciting membership program soon, we're able to tell them, hey, you haven't used your service that is free because it came with your membership this month. We're able to say happy birthday because it's just organized and we don't forget. And so those are things that are just really important in terms of that ongoing contact. We also even have this little basket in our main kitchen area where like our break room, and it's just little stationery. And so if we're thinking of a patient, if we're just meeting a new patient, we're able to just write a quick note and pop it in the mail. And this patient gets to get this personalized high touch communication from us. So that's something that is so important to continue that development of relationship. Educational resources. This is another point that I really think is important. This is twofold. There's one for patients. I try to make my social media platforms and my virtual contact with my patients be very educational. It's also a little flair of fun for sure, but I want there to be valuable information. Also, side note, I think people need to check their social medias. Don't make it look selfish. Don't make it all about you. It can still be fun, but make sure that it's not just like this selfie of yourself and then you have a message below. Like, what are you providing your patient? So that's just one thing. Education to your patient. Also, I'm really passionate about educating other aesthetic providers in my community. So I have a Patreon page that I have a link to in the show notes. And also, if you go to my Instagram page, there's a link in the bio for providers. And you can head to that. It's just a membership with multiple tiers. And there's education on there, including, it's full right now, but there's a VIP tier where there's one-on-one coaching with me and a higher touch. And then also I teach for a lot of different companies, and I have a private training spa as well. The virtual courses that I will be working on are rolling out as well. And I'm also going to be incorporating business into that, because that's another really important thing that I think we can educate on, such as this. Another point is creating a comfortable atmosphere and a relaxing, inviting environment. I tell my team all the time, and I tell people that I train, there is a really interesting feeling about walking in somewhere. We are there every day. We're comfortable. We know each other. But there is a very intimidating factor about walking into a medical aesthetics practice. You're already feeling vulnerable. You're considering doing this major thing. You don't know these people. There's a high level of trust required, and it's a lot. And even as a med spa owner and a friendly person and someone who's pretty confident, I have gone to other medical aesthetics practices for treatments, and it is intimidating for me walking in those doors. And that was like an aha moment for me, where I realized, oh my gosh, these people really probably feel intimidating. And so when you walk in, if there's like just chatter at the desk and no one even says hi to you or looks up, that is really bad. So make sure that everything is inviting. We also do like soothing music. We have a signature scent in our office. We have comfortable furnishings. And a lot of times it's like restoration hardware stuff that you have sat in your own home or you've seen. It's just, there's a lot that goes into making someone feel comfortable and having an overall experience. Not to mention our incredible patient care coordinating staff. They're so friendly and so wonderful and so patient. Also, I just want to touch on focusing on customer service and making sure that all of our team members are super trained on excellent customer service. They also are having a playbook for how to handle situations. We're vigorously working on setting up standard operating procedures deemed SOPs. I just learned that this year, and I'm like, how did I not have this in my business? But if you've been asked these questions over and over, you're just spending so much time answering them. And so we're really putting a lot of time and effort into really giving everyone the resources that they need to deliver good customer service. If you aren't getting good customer service or you aren't seeing your team deliver that, that is on you as a business owner, and you really need to take ownership of that. And if you are on a team where you're part of customer service and you're not getting what you need, I would definitely recommend letting your leader know that you need some better SOPs in place. How do I handle this situation? And then another one is follow up. Do you follow up with your patient? Do you call them after you treated them? Do you touch base with them? Do you comment how great they look and how confident they look when you see their selfie where you can tell that they are feeling that Botox? Do you say you have a different business where you sell jewelry? Like, are you being like, you look amazing in that? Or how are you liking it? Or how's it holding up? Or, hey, if it ever breaks, let me know. When you sell a car, are you asking people, are there any features that you're unaware of how to use? Can I help you? It's just, follow-up is so crazy. It shows someone that you're thinking of them. It needs to be authentic, of course, but I do think about my patients all the time. So when I do think about them, I just try to send them a quick note. Utilize voice notes, you guys. Like, literally, you can go into social media DMs and click the little microphone and send someone a personalized voice note. And I just think it's so powerful. And the last one, set up some sort of loyalty program or membership program. I have this huge thought in my mind where I used to do a big annual sale, and that just seemed not consistent or congruent with who we are as a practice. We want people who are just invested in the journey. We want to be invested with them. And I don't want to just have these one-off sale events where someone's could be just shopping and then they're on to the next sale. I'm launching an entire membership program. It's coming. It's going to be exciting and amazing. And I want to continue to hone down the people that are really just invested in their journey with us, and that we have a really high touch on their whole process, and that if they're missing something in their journey, I'm going to help them find it outside of us. But that's a resource, and it comes with part of that membership. So I'm just really, really excited about finding something that may seem scary and then figuring out how I can make it better and implement it into my life and converge and be part of the process. If you can't beat them, join them, guys. So I wanted to share these thoughts. I hope that it enriched you in some way. And if you have any questions, don't forget to follow me on all the platforms. Instagram's a great way to engage with all of us. And I look forward to our next podcast. I am working on some really great content. Have the best day. Congratulations, you have done it. You've reached the end of an episode on the Curated Beauty Podcast and have enriched a part of your self-care by discovering something new. I hope this time together added a little perspective to your day and will ultimately boost your confidence and give you the strength to do all the hard things. As we walk through this journey together, follow our Curated Beauty Podcast. And if this resonated with you, share it with a friend, save the episode, and also follow our social media platforms in the show notes. We love to engage with our listeners on all levels.